Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Janjua. I am Romanian from Transylvania. Um, I live in Dubai today, and I've been working in marketing for about 20 years. I'm married and I have a daughter. And besides my work, I have a lot of passions. I always keep active, and I'm also an advocate for mental health. Hence, I'm here. What I do is I've recently I was recently the chief marketing officer at Fine Hygienic Holding. Before that, I was a brand manager and brand director at Procter and Gamble. And as of this year, I started my own company, of which I'm the CEO. So lots of exciting things career-wise. And then personally, I've been a nomad for about 10 years now. Yes, I've even more, 12. I've left Romania, I've lived in Switzerland, and then in United Arab Emirates, experiencing a lot of different cultures. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. And at this time, we're doing it obviously the other way around. Hi, everybody. Georgi here from Digiburn. Today, we're having Andrea, a very exciting guest, nomad, and been through a lot of traveling, as she already mentioned. We are super excited to get to know more about her journey, and essentially what she learned out of it. So, Andrea, it's a pleasure and honor to have you here. Um, Tell us about yourself in terms of where it all started, what happened, where are you nowadays?
So we were talking before that this is not it's not a space for a soap opera. So actually, my story is not very, let's say, there's not a lot of emotional things, and this is exactly what my message will actually be: that you don't even realize what's happening to you until sometimes it's very late. So I was doing well. I was working hard. I'm also a workaholic, as many people. So I
Mm.
love my job. I'm very creative. If I start something, I can't stop. And I've been working day and night for a very long time, and skipping hours of sleep, not necessarily making time for exercise and for really taking care of myself, putting really my work ahead. Now, that wouldn't have been an issue because I've done that for 20 years. So it wouldn't have really been an issue because when I love what I do. But I got sick. So I got a sort of a virus. Funny enough, it happened same time as the pandemic started, and the symptoms were very similar. Thankfully, it wasn't COVID, but the virus was making me feel very, very fatigued, and as per my doctor, should have rested, and I should have taken days off. I should have worked less. I should have slept more, so that the virus goes away. Of course, I didn't listen to my body, and I kept working and kept at it, and didn't listen. I said, no, I'm super marketeer. I never get sick, or even if I get sick, I don't care. The problem was that while my virus went away with antibiotics, and supposedly I was virus free, I was still having fever every afternoon. And that was a very strange thing. And obviously, doctors got quite surprised, and they were doing a million tests because low grade fever every day is an underlying issue for something really, really bad, like cancer or other chronic diseases. So, thankfully, all the tests were coming back normal, but still, I was having fever. And in the end, what we figured out is, after basically not resting and being fatigued, my body went into chronic fatigue, and from that to burnout. And I would literally every afternoon, I would be so tired that I would have to work in bed, or I would have to close the laptop and rest. And this this fever was with me for about 2 years, and that was basically my let's say the way I woke up and I realized, okay, my body's telling me something. It's telling me I have to give you a big alarm bell so you pay attention to me, because if I just
Mm.
show you that you're tired, you don't care. So obviously my
Okay.
family was worried. I started to be worried as well, because it's not something normal to I couldn't I was not able to participate in day-to-day activities with my family, with my friends, as I would. I would always be extremely tired. So these were, let's say, the symptoms, and this is when I realized that something is wrong. This is happened in the same time with the pandemic. So we were also locked in the house. We were anyway working more, connected all the time. I was also a teacher because I had to do homeschooling for my then 5-year-old, then 6-year-old. So there were a lot of things happening in the same time, and just I was trying to push through. So this was a bit how it went. And
Since,
yes,
since,
go ahead.
since since you mentioned it, a lot of people are speaking about COVID and its impact on mental health and so on. Would you reckon there was a connection? I mean, mentioning also the homeschooling and so on.
I think there was I think there's a accumulation of things for sure. I think it added to it. I think the reason why we like, for example, I know that the reason why I got to burnout was because of working day and night and not sleeping enough, and not taking care of myself properly and not resting because I was ill. But one of the reasons I did that is I was at home connected. I said, why should I stop? Like, I'm just at home. So
Mm,
somehow I don't think we were we knew how to disconnect. I
mm,
don't think we knew that, okay, we're going into this and we need to take care, because we have to create boundaries
mm,
with work. We have to create boundaries with people, like even having simple me time, even saying, okay, I need an hour for myself and I'm just going to be in my room and meditate or read a book, and I just need a bit of peace of mind. um, is important. So we didn't create boundaries from the start, and then it was very hard to bring boundaries once we were in it. So I think that's where it added to it.
mm. And moving forward, what came next?
So I've changed a lot of things. I think for me it was a very good wake up call. Thankfully, it wasn't a very severe wake up call, because it could have been much worse.
Was there
And
like a specific, sorry for interrupting, but was there like a specific moment in time where you were like, okay, that's it, that's the waking up time to do something?
yeah, I think when they said that, when my GP said, listen, low grade fever every day means cancer. In some people, I literally couldn't breathe, and then we did all the tests, and thankfully it wasn't. It was just my body perceiving stress and fatigue as an infection and fighting it. It's just
Understood.
extraordinary. Yes, but that was when, obviously, when he told me that, I was, oh my God, like, no, you know. Thankfully it wasn't, but then it could have been, as I know many people that actually it this like, even my aunt, for example, it turned out for her to be cancer, and she did pass away. So that's why I freaked out.
Yeah, well, that's a
Yeah.
big news piece, hard to digest probably.
Yeah, obviously, like, just as a risk. Usually, doctors don't scare you, but I think it was good he told me that.
So moving forward, what did you do?
So, moving forward, I basically had a chat with my doctor. I actually did some courses as well on well being. And I decided to, first and foremost, I started with boundaries. I started working less. I was not necessarily doing less, but I was containing the amount of work to match the resources that I had, and I was taking care of my team as well, so they don't burn out either. And then once I set some boundaries and I had time, I started exercising. I think one of the best things that you can do, and especially if you have depression or anxiety, the best things is exercise. Whatever you do, just move your body, go out, walk for like set a target for the day of 10,000 steps. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's actually a very good target, because you get to walk in the morning, walk in the evening. I actually got a dog, so I had to walk. Because she needed to go outside. And I did strength training, which actually strength training with weights is something that I realized not only strengthens your body, your muscles, but also it strengthens your mind. So that was very helpful. After exercise, I made sure I sleep properly. I think 8 hours of sleep plus even a nap. I was listening to LeBron James, and in one of his talks, and this is what he says: he protects his sleep like it's the most precious thing he has, and that's what I did as well. And I realized whenever I sleep properly, I am I'm perfectly fine. If I don't sleep, it's don't talk to Andrea. So exercise and sleep were very important. Then meditation. I've done a lot of like even 10 minutes in the morning helped, and I really enjoy it. So that's basically me connecting with me. Improved what I eat. What else? I made sure that I have activities that I love and I make time for them. That was one of the things that I was missing, really. I love to paint, so for me art is therapeutic. So I started to paint again, and I even had exhibitions. And I started hiking, and I put myself a target which has been on my bucket list for a while, to climb Kilimanjaro. So I'm going there in October, and I've been training since last year. So and the last thing that I did is this was basically talking to my doctor as well, was to give back. Because once you've been through it and you learned how to get out of it, you want to help others. And he was saying as well that a lot of people don't want to talk to a doctor, or they don't come through, or they just say, doctor, give me a pill and I'll be fine. But that's not the case. So I'm doing my best to reach out to friends, family, even if they look okay, but I know that they've gone through something. I go and ask them how they are, and it always comes out. Everyone is going through something, even if you see them laughing at the party. That doesn't mean or that that actually there is nothing wrong with them, and it's better they would want to talk to a friend or a family member versus a professional.
Got it. And there are a couple of aspects I would like to touch base on. But earlier, to put them in the same sequence, earlier you mentioned boundaries. So aside from protecting your sleep, are there any other boundaries that you've implemented for yourself and your sanity?
I've put boundaries with people. So of course boundaries with work, for sure. I size my work based on my energy, and thankfully now I can do that. I put boundaries with people, even if it means with my family, where I tell them, okay, I need my time now, and I take my time, which before I would feel so guilty, especially as a mom and with my daughter, to take time for myself. But I realized that it's extremely important. And so I put boundaries even with them. So with family, with friends, with work, I said, yeah.
Cool. And on the note of giving back, is there a good recipe of actually doing so? Are people receptive?
I think yes. I think what we're doing now is good. People are receptive to listening to others that went through it. I don't think you can succeed in any way in forcing someone. I think sharing your story and gets people inspired, opening up and normalizing discussions. I have someone actually in close to me that was going through mental health for a very long time, and all of a sudden the person just came and started talking to me and asking me questions, asking me for reading material, and once in a while checks in and asks me for more advice. And you could see that this is a person that would never talk to anyone about it and was very let's say very reserved, very careful, felt that there is a huge stigma in talking about it. So I'm just trying to give to share information, to normalize the discussion, the sharing of tips. Of I talk to anyone that I come in contact with about it. To be honest, even now I was on vacation. I met a family member. I shared this in case they ever want to talk about it, ask me questions. So yeah, I keep open, but I don't force it to anyone, because in the end it has to you have to want to be helped.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. You're obviously we're sharing here the same mission and higher level mission and vision. What I wanted to ask, you mentioned a lot of different actions and steps that you undertook. Let's say we may have somebody watching us right now, who maybe feeling overwhelmed, maybe feeling exhausted, or anything else along the lines of yeah, typical burnout symptomatics. What would you deem, from everything that you've learned, what you would you deem as the, let's say, 2080 step, or the perfect step to prioritize, the one that is going to give the biggest impact for starting with on a road to improvement?
You laugh, but it's so simple. Is sleep. I believe, and again, I'm saying this because I suggest to anyone that will watch this video to read the book of Matthew Walker on the importance of sleep. Having a good sleep routine, which is either from 10 to 6, like ideally before midnight, and then having maybe a nap during the day, but the 10 to 6 and the proper 8-hour sleep with a sleep routine before you get into bed, wind down, and then morning wake up, do some stretches. Just that can improve a lot your mental health. And because while we sleep, there is a lot of there is a lot of hormones that are released, that only released in our sleep. We process a lot of emotion activities. It helps us make sure that we eat properly. It keeps us in balance, and then we can take better decisions. We can react better to things during the day. All of those things are regulated by a rested mind. If the mind is not rested, it's very hard during the day to do other things. Like the numbers. The second thing I would say is exercise. And when I say exercise, doesn't mean go and do a circuit training or high intensity training or all of those things. Just a simple walk, outdoor, or yeah, just a simple walk is enough. But you won't do that if your mind tells you you're tired. So I would say sleep number one, exercise number two, and then find something that soothes your soul, like meditation. if you don't want to do meditation, do journaling. Write down every day what you think, what you feel, and somehow take it out of inside and put it on a piece of paper. Do a gratitude journal. Like, it's again just the saying that you're grateful for three things, and finding in your day something to be grateful for is very, very good. And at the beginning it will be a bit fake and strange, but with time it actually, you'll see how it changes the way your mind thinks. Instead of seeing negative things, you will start seeing positive things, because you're looking for things to be grateful for, and then the more you're grateful for, the more good things you'll see and good things will happen. I firmly believe that.
Thank you. You mentioned the book by Matthew Walker. Are there any other resources that you would recommend?
Yeah, one of my favorite books is The Mindset from Carl Dweck. I can send these and we can add them. But it's a book that basically talks about the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, which is again quite a famous topic. But it's written in a very nice way, and with a lot of examples, both for your professional life and your personal life. And I think, and it's something that you need to reread. You read it once, and then in a few years you forget, and then you have to read it again, because you'll immediately want to use the principles and become a growth minded person. But then somehow our mind forgets, and you always have to go back to, you, if there was a paragraph or if there was a video that you've seen that inspired you, you go back to it. So I think that's another one that is very, very good. I also read recently an awesome book by Glennon Doyle called Untamed. And it was brilliant, because it again, it talks about how to stop pleasing others and doing what's right for you. And in all of this burnout journey, what I learned is, put yourself first, because if you don't, in the end, your body will tell you, enough, I'm number one. So yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. And thank you for sharing the story. There is one more thing that I'm very, very curious to ask you, and namely, that's it. What do you do today? Where is your actual mission?
Oh, I have so many missions. No.
So if anybody wants to connect or find out more about you, obviously we will put your details in the description and so on. But what is Andrea doing nowadays?
So nowadays, like I said, I started my own little company. It's a marketing agency for Web3, for the Web3 move. So Metaverse, NFTs, blockchain, all of that. It's obviously, marketing is my passion, and then the future of marketing again is something that I'm excited about. So people can find me on LinkedIn very easily. And I have a website called metacom.sg, so SG from Singapore, because my company is in Dubai and Singapore. Besides that, I'm part of a lot of groups, the Singapore Business Council, Swiss Business Council. I do a lot of hikes. You will find me somewhere in Ras Al Khaimah or Fujairah or Hatta, on a rock, together with Golf for Good. This is a company that raises funds to build schools in Tanzania and other places around the world. And with them, I'm going to Kilimanjaro. So, and you'll also find me sometimes climbing in the tallest towers in Dubai, going up and down the stairs to train. And recently I started hiking in Ski Dubai, so you might find me on a ski slope there. Otherwise, I paint in the weekends, and you might find me in an art exhibition somewhere. So these are my places.
Amazing. Thank you. Colorful, vibrant, and full of surprises. If I may allow myself to wrap it up in a way. Andrea, thank you for
Thank
being with
you.
us. It is really a very um, dear to our hearts topic and mission to spread awareness and enable people to see burnout and mental wellness from the perspective of people that have already been through that, taken their learnings out of it, and have learned to live a more fulfilling way. So thank you for being with us. I hope that the episode was interesting and that people will find some insights and takeaways. We will put all the links and mentioned resources, as well as how to connect with Andrea, in the description. And thank you all for being with us. Really hope to see you again on the next one.
Thank
Thank you.
you.